Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalam. Ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmeen. Amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allahi wa amila salihan. Qala innani minal muslimin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. I welcome all the viewers of the Peace TV network, the Peace TV English, the Peace TV Urdu, the Peace TV Bangla, and the Peace TV Chinese, as well as my 4 social media platforms, which are the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, and Twitter. I welcome all the viewers with Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of you. And I welcome all of you to the second part of this program, Ask Dr. Zakir and his son Farik, Season 2, Session 2. I would like to thank Farik for answering the first 2 questions, and inshallah from here I'll be answering the questions. Just to remind you, you're most welcome to ask your questions in brief on any of the social media platforms, but the best would be to text your message on the WhatsApp in brief, along with your name, your profession, your city and country of residence to the WhatsApp number +60 11 269 53895. I repeat, +60 11 269 53895. Here you are most welcome to ask any questions on Islam and comparative religion, or question that any non-Muslim or any atheist may have asked you regarding Islam and you are unable to reply, or any question or query that you find on the media. If you require any answers dealing with Islam, reason, logic and science, this is your opportunity. The first question The first question is from Arif Qazi from London, UK. The month of Dhul Hijjah is after 4 to 5 days. What is the importance of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah? And that's a very important question. I would like to thank Brother Arif for asking this question, because according to me, the importance of the first 10 Dhul Hijjah are the forgotten sunnah of the beloved Prophet. Unfortunately, most of the Muslims throughout the world have forgotten the importance of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Most of us Muslims very well know about Ramadan, and we prepare for the month of Ramadan, and we know most of its advantage, most of the blessings of Ramadan. But unfortunately, very few of us Muslims are aware of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes an oath in the glorious Quran, in Surah Fajr, chapter number 9, verse number 1 and 2, where Allah says, Wal Fajr, Wal Layalin Ashr, by Fajr, by dawn, and by the 10 nights. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking the oath of Fajr and by 10 nights. Here the Mufassirin say, when Allah is taking the oath, Walayalin Ashr, that is by the 10 nights, it is referring to the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Now people will wonder, why does Allah use the word nights when He's referring to the days of the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah? This is common in many languages. If I have to say in English that I was 10 days in New York, I spent 10 days in New York. But naturally, when I say I spent 10 days in New York, It means I spent 10 days and 10 nights in New York. It's understood. When I say days, many a times the nights is included. Similarly, in Arabic, when days are mentioned, the nights are included. And when nights are mentioned, many a times even the days are included. It can only mean night. It can mean day and night also. It can mean only day, depending upon the context. So when Allah says here, He's taking the oath of 10 nights, the Mufassirins, they say it refers to the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And if you read Tafsir ibn Kathir, it says that the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the most important days in the complete year. There are no days besides these 10 days which are more important. These 10 days in the full year are the most important days of the year, even more important than the last 10 days of Ramadan. But the last 10 nights of Ramadan are more important than the first 10 nights of Dhul Hijjah. Because in the last 10 nights of Ramadan is the Laylatul Qadr. Because Laylatul Qadr falls in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, the last 10 nights of Ramadan are the most important 10 nights in the full year, and the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the most important days in the full year. It's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 2, hadith number 969, that when the Sahabas asked the Prophet said, there are no deeds better than the deeds done on the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. There are no deeds done on any other day better than the deeds done on the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So the Sahabas asked the Prophet, what about jihad? The Prophet said, even jihad, the deeds done on the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are better even than jihad, except if jihad is done with the wealth and the life of the person, and the person returns back without any of the two. That means if a person goes for jihad with his wealth and his life and he is martyred, that is the only deed, one deed, which is better. Scholars, very few, who say fasting of Muharram, the fasting of Ashura, is the most important after the first fast of Ramadan, because the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, we say that fasting in Muharram and Ashura, previous year is expiated, is forgiven. But if you fast during the day of Arafah, then the sins of the previous year and the next year, the following year, 2 years are forgiven. That's the reason most of the scholars say that the most important to know from this hadith that the Prophet fasted all the 9 days, the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. That means besides the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, the day of Arafah, it is mustahab, it is sunnah to fast all the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. If someone says I cannot, then at least fast besides Arafah, Monday and Thursday. But the best is fasting all the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah, because these are the best days of the year. One may ask, why not fast the 10 days? Why only first 9 days? The reason is, our beloved Prophet Muhammad said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 3, hadith number 1991, that the Prophet said, it is prohibited to fast on Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Both the Eidain, Eid al-Fitr, the Eid after Ramadan, that's the reason it is mustahab to fast on the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. It's further mentioned in Sahih Muslim that the Prophet said, you should not fast on the Ayyam al-Tashriq. That means the 3 days following the Eid al-Adha, because these are the days of eating and drinking. And the Prophet also said, it's mentioned in Sahih Muslim, that if you are slaughtering an animal, then that person should not cut his nail or cut his hair from the first day of Dhul Hijjah till he slaughters the animal. If you are doing Qurbani, if you are slaughtering, then it is mustahab. It is sunnah that you should not cut your nails or cut your hair from the first day of Dhul Hijjah till the time you slaughter the animal. But if someone is slaughtering on behalf of someone else, then that person need not follow this rule. If I am not slaughtering and if somebody is slaughtering on my behalf, then I need not follow this rule. If I am slaughtering myself, then this rule has to be followed. It is further mentioned in Fathul Bari that the Prophet recommended that during these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, you should say the takbir. And it's mentioned in Fathul Bari that the takbir is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. This is the takbir. It is recommended. All the 10 days should recite. A similar message is repeated in Musnad Ahmad, hadith number 5446, where the Prophet said that according to Ibn Umar, Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, he said that the Prophet said, there are no deeds better than the deeds done on the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. Therefore, say the Tahleel, La ilaha illallah. Say the Takbir, Allahu Akbar. Say the Tahmeed, Alhamdulillah. Same thing. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. So it is recommended that all these 10 days you say the Takbir, the Tahleel, the Tahmeed. It's further mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 2, page number 65, that Abdullah ibn Umar, he said, and Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with them both, that Abdullah ibn Umar and Abu Hurairah, they used to go out in the marketplace during the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah and loudly say the Takbirat. And when the other Sahaba used to hear, then they should repeat it by themselves. Now, do we see any Muslims in the marketplace, in the mall, in the souk, saying the Takbir loudly during the first 10 days? Maybe in some countries, maybe some of the Gulf countries, but normally in India, Pakistan, in Malaysia, Indonesia, we don't find Muslims going out to the marketplace and saying loudly, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah. No, we don't find it. So inshallah, most of the viewers, I would like to tell you that the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, inshallah, will be after 4 or 5 days. In Malaysia, in Saudi, in the Gulf countries, inshallah, it will be from the 22nd of July, from Wednesday, 4 days from today. Other countries, it will be after 5 days, maybe India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and some countries maybe 1 day later. See to it that we follow these sunnah and revive the sunnah and do not let these first 10 days go in waste. This topic of the first 10 days Dhul Hijjah actually requires a big talk for a few hours. Time is limited. I will just mention the important good deeds that a person should do during these first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. I'll not mention all, I'll mention the important 35 ones. Number one is that you should pray your all 5 times daily for the salah in Jamaat in the mosque. Number two, if you have not done Hajj, and if Hajj is fard on you, if you have the means and the wealth and the health and you're an adult, then doing Hajj is fard. Even if you have done it, if you want to do it again, it is mustahab, it is good, you can do it. But unfortunately, now we are going through the pandemic, the coronavirus, COVID-19, that there is in the foreigners, those who are outside Saudi. But the Saudis and the foreigners in Saudi, they can do, but only a limited few. Only a few thousand, I think, will be permitted this Hajj. Inshallah, we'll hope that Allah gives us a chance next year, inshallah, to do Hajj. Number 3, that do not do any haram during these 10 days of, first 10 days of the Hijjah. You should not do haram throughout your life, but be particular, not only the major sins, avoid totally even the minor sins during these 10 days. You have to not do sins throughout your life, but be more particular during the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, that even by mistake, do not do anything, any sin. Leave aside the major sin, do not even do the minor sins. The 4th point is, fast during Yawm al-Arafah, the 9th Dhul Hijjah, the day of Arafah. Inshallah, your previous year's sin and the next year's sin will be expiated, will be forgiven, inshallah. Expiated, will be forgiven, inshallah. But natural, when the hadith says your sins will be forgiven, it's understood the minor sins, not the major sins. Point number 5. It's preferable you fast the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah, all the first 9 days. If you cannot for any particular reason, at least fast on Arafah and Monday and Thursday. But preferably you fast all the 9 days, the first 9 days of Dhul Hijjah. The 6th point is that slaughter an animal, if you have the capacity, on Yawm al-Nahar. That is on Eid al-Adha or the 3 days following on Ayyam al-Tashriq. 7th is say the tasbih. By the witr 3 rakat, and for long hours during the last 1/3 of night. Pray your sunnat muqaddah. There are 12 sunnat muqaddah in the full day. 2 rakat sunnah after the Fajr Salah, 2 + 2, 4 rakat sunnah before the Dhuhr Salah, 2 rakat sunnah after the Dhuhr Salah, 2 rakat sunnah after the Maghrib Salah, and 2 rakat sunnah after the Isha Salah. So totally there are 12 Sunnat al-Muqaddah, and the Prophet said that anyone who reads these 12 Sunnat al-Muqaddah regularly, inshallah, he will go to Jannah and get a house close to the Prophet. Pray your Salat Duha, preferably 4 rakat, you can even pray 2 rakat, after sunrise, anytime after 20 minutes, till before 20 minutes of the sun reaching its highest point. See to it that you do maximum charity during these 10 days. Besides the further zakat, do as much of charity as you can. Do dua before iftar. And since we'll be fasting, so dua before iftar is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do as much as dua as you can during all these 10 days. Do as much of zikr as you can during these 10 days. Read as much of the Quran as you can during these 10 days. Do tilawat of Quran. If you can, you do memorization of the Quran. Read the Quran. If you don't know Arabic as a language, read along with the Arabic portion, read the translation in the language you understand the best. Read the tafsir of the Quran. If you can, teach Quran to others. The 11th point is that ask Allah for forgiveness. Do as much, recite as much as of the dua of the Prophet ﷺ, all the dua which are recommended. And the give as much time as you can for your family members. Because the Prophet said, the best Muslim is he who is best to his family, especially his wife. Do not waste a single minute. Again, the virtues of Arafat, you can spend hours together discussing it. I will just mention 7 important points of the virtues of Arafat. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Buruj, chapter number 85, verse number 3, وَشَاهِدُوا وَمَشْهُودٍ, by the witnessing day and by the witness day. Here Allah is taking oath of the witnessing day referring to Friday and the witness day referring to Yawm al-Arafah. And if you read the hadith in Jami Tirmidhi, volume number 6, hadith number 3339, the beloved Prophet ﷺ said that when Allah says about the Yawm al-Mawud, he's referring to the day of resurrection. When Allah speaks about the Yawm al-Mashhud, that is the day of Arafah, when Allah is referring to the witnessed day, Yawm al-Mashhud, the witnessed day, Allah is referring to Yawm al-Arafah. And when Allah is referring to Ash-Shaheed, that is the witnessing day, Allah is referring to Friday. So according to this hadith in Jami Tirmidhi, we realize that when Allah says in Surah Buruj, chapter number 85, Allah is taking oath in verse number 3, by the witnessing day referring to Friday and by the witnessed day, Allah is referring to Yawm al-Arafah. Allah is taking oath of Yawm al-Arafah. Further is mentioned in the hadith of Musnad Ahmad, hadith number 2455, that the Prophet said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out the children of Adam from their loins on the day of Arafah. And he asked them the question that, who is your Lord? And then the same thing is mentioned also in Surah Arafah. That who is your Lord? Who is your Rabb? And all the children of Adam, they bear witness that Allah is the Rabb. And Allah said, so that on the day of judgment, you will not say that I did not know who is my Lord. Or you will not say that my parents, my father and mother, they used to do idol worship. So these excuses will not be accepted. Here it's mentioned in the Hadith of Musa Ahmad, also as in the Quran, in Surah Araf, chapter 7, verse 172 and 173, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out from the loin the children of Adam and asks them, and they bear witness that Allah is their Rabb, Allah is their Lord. It's further mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, point number 1, Hadith number 45, that once a Jew approaches Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, the second caliph of Islam, and says, O chief of the believers, if what was revealed in your scripture was revealed in our scriptures, we would have celebrated it as an Eid, a day of festival. So Umar radiallahu anhu asked the Jew, which verse are you referring to? Then the Jew quotes Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 3, on this day have I perfected your religion for you, and have chosen for you Islam, and have completed my favor on you. Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, he said, this day we know it was revealed to the Prophet on a Friday on Yawm al-Arafah. That means this day, the day this verse was revealed, Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 3. And most of the Mufassirin say this is the last verse of the Quran that was revealed. It was revealed to the Prophet on Yawm al-Arafah. And it says that this day have I perfected your religion for you, and have chosen for you Islam, and complete my favor on you. It is further mentioned in Sunan Abu Dawud, point number 3, Hadith number 2419, that the Prophet said, Yawmul Arafah, Yawmul Nahar, and Ayyamul Tashriq. That means the 9th day of Dhul Hajj, Yawmul Arafah, and Yawmul Nahar, the Eid al-Adha. And the 3 days following Ayyamul Tashriq are the days of festival, are the days of Eid, the days of eating and drinking. Those people who are doing Hajj, for them on the Yawmul Arafah is Hajj according to the Prophet. And it is like Eid. It is the day of feasting and drinking and eating. And people who are doing Hajj, they should not fast on Yawmul Arafah. The fasting which I mentioned in my earlier answer is only for those who are not doing Hajj. But those who are doing Hajj, it is not recommended for them to fast. It is the day of Eid, day of eating and drinking. It is further mentioned in Sunan An-Nasai, Hadith number 3006, that the Prophet said that there is no day in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees his slaves, male and female, more than the day of Arafah. That means on this day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala frees the maximum of the people from hellfire, male and female. And this day is the best day of forgiveness. So Yawmul Arafah, the last 10 days of Dhul Hijjah are the best days in the full year, and Yawm al-Arafah is the best day of the year, without doubt. Like the best night of the year is Laylatul Qadr, the best day of the year is Yawm al-Arafah. Allah frees the maximum of slaves from the hellfire, male and female. It's the best day of forgiveness. It's further mentioned in Jami' Tirmidhi, Hadith number 3585, where the Prophet said that Yawmul Arafah it's the best day, and the best dua to be done on this day is La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wal hamdu wa lahu kulli shay'in qadir. That there is no God but Allah. He has got no partners. To Him belongs everything. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah has power over all things. This dua, according to the Prophet, is the best dua. And during Yawm al-Arafah, doing this dua as much as you can, it is recommended. You can do during all these 10 days, but during Yawm al-Arafah specifically, this dua the Prophet recommended and said that if you do this dua, it's the best dua. And the seventh virtue, the last, which I mentioned in my earlier answer also, that it is mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 3, hadith number 2747, that the beloved Prophet Muhammad said that fasting on the day of Arafah expiates your sins of the previous year and the next year. Your previous year and the next year's sins are forgiven if you fast on Yawm al-Arafah. So inshallah, the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah will be starting very soon, after 4 or 5 days. And Yawm al-Arafah inshallah will come after about 2 weeks. And we'll see to it that we do as much as the sunnah, and we revive the sunnah, and we do the good deeds in the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, as well as specifically on Yawm al-Arafah. Hope that answers the question. We have on the Facebook Abu Dhar Khan, Kulsum Nipa, Muhammad Anas, El Haru Haruna, Misbah Yusuf, Muzaffar Hussain Rahat, Muhammad Dinar, Disconnecting Facebook? Let's show now. Okay. And here we have Amina Shri, Sabuna Oromo, that's on the Facebook, Munira Tabassum, Meza bin Nayan, Zawadul Qadir, Abdullah Rizvi, Muhammad Riyal Hussain, Jamal Gul, Muhammad Islam Maruf, Tariqul Islam Shizan, Baba Jumandi Kamara. Most of them are saying Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. They're saying lots of love to you also. They're doing du'as, and I do du'as for you too. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you Jannah and Jannah Firdaus, inshallah. On the YouTube, we have Muhammad Azizul Haq, Asana Mimi, Sohan Sarkar, Imon Hassan, Muhammad Azizul Haq, Mustarino, Nivendanu Paul, Yaya Pathan, Kanis Fatima, Bhakt Hunter, Muhammad Azharuddin, Muhammad Rashid, Muhammad Azizul Haq. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you, inshallah. The next question is from Jabir Haruna from Nigeria. I am a police officer. Is it allowed for a public officer to accept gratification and gifts from public which one does not demand for? Another question from Anonymous India but living in Dubai. If anyone accepts bribe for some years and then he repents, and makes tawbah, how can he refund or compensate as he has collected money from too many people by doing fraud? Brother Jabir has asked a question that if he gets gratification or without demanding some gifts as a police officer, then is it accepted or not? Our beloved Prophet said, it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, volume number 9, hadith number 6979, that the Prophet told one of the persons to go and collect zakat. So when he comes back, he tells the Prophet, this is your money of zakat and this is the gift I received. The Prophet replies that, will you go and sit at the home of your father and the home of your mother, and do you think you'll get these gifts? And the Prophet gets very angry. And immediately when he's addressing the people, he tells, O my people, I had appointed one of you to do an important task for me which Allah had entrusted on me, referring to collection of zakat. That person comes and gives me and says, this is the zakat money which is for you and this is the gift I received. I told him that, will you go and sit at the house of your father and the house of your mother, and do you think you'll get these gifts? Then the Prophet says that, O people, fear that you do not take a single unlawful thing. Otherwise, you will carry with you, you will carry with it, or else you will carry with you on the day of judgment. The Prophet said, do not take any single thing unlawful. Otherwise, you will carry that thing with you on the day of judgment to Allah. And the Prophet said, I do not want any of you to be seen carrying a camel which is gruntling, or a cow which is mooing, or a sheep which is bleating. That means the Prophet has prohibited anyone from taking anything extra and unlawful. It's further mentioned in the hadith of Sunan Abu Dawud, volume number 3, hadith number 2943, that the Prophet said that the person who we employ for administrative work, and when we give him provision, if he takes anything besides that, it is gulul, meaning embezzlement, meaning fraud, meaning bribery. It's further mentioned in the hadith of Sunan Abu Dawud, volume number 3, hadith number 2945, that the Prophet said that if we employ anyone for administrative work, and if he comes with his wife, if he doesn't have a servant, he may have a servant. If he doesn't have a dwelling, he may have a dwelling. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he continues that the Prophet said that anything above this is treachery and theft. It's further mentioned in Musnad Ahmad, hadith number 23601, that the beloved Prophet said that anything received by an employee of the government, it is ghulul, embezzlement, it is treachery. From all these hadiths we come to know that any employee of the government or provided by the government, or as for that matter, any company, besides the salary what he gets and besides the purse what he gets, anything else he received from anyone outside, it is equal to bribery, it is equal to gulul, it is equal to